Today, let's talk about the present simple, 現在形. Now, the present simple in English sounds simple, but actually it's quite difficult. We use it to talk about the present, yes, but we also use it to talk about the past and the future. So it's not really just a present tense. Let's take a little look at the different ways that we can use the present simple. Number one, to express habits. This is talking about the past, the present, and the future. So a habit is, for example, I usually get up at 6 a.m. My brother often walks to work. These are habits that are true today, now, and yesterday, and also tomorrow. So they talk about all time. We also use the present simple to talk about things that are generally true. In this case, it is also about the past, the present, and the future. So examples might be, doctors look after sick people in hospitals. The restaurant opens at 6 p.m. in the evening. It is mostly hot in the summer. I am tall. These things are all true now, yes, and before now, and then after now. So we can talk about them really for all time. The second way to use the present simple is for repeated actions or permanent situations. This is also about the present, yes, but also the past and the future. An example would be, I play tennis on Saturdays. My mum lives in Australia. David works really hard most of the time. So these are things that are true now, yes, but also yesterday and tomorrow and other times too. So they talk about all time. The third way to use the present simple is with emotions. This is basically talking about now. How do you feel now? For example, I am sad about losing the game. Jane is so happy that you are okay. So they're talking generally about how you feel right now. The fourth way to use the present simple is for situations that are true right now. And we use these with some verbs called stative verbs. Stative verbs are, for example, see, hear, smell, taste, like, love, be. Verbs like this. In this case, we'd be talking about now, but we use them in the present simple. Let's look at some examples. This meat smells bad. I can hear the baby crying. He isn't at home now. So we're talking about now and then just using the present simple form of the verb. The fifth way to use the present simple, oh yes, there's more, is to give instructions or direction. So, for example, in this case, there isn't really time involved. We are really just telling people information. So, for example, directions, go up the street, turn left, and then turn right. Mix the ingredients and then put in a pan and bake in the oven for 40 minutes. So this is telling somebody how to do something or telling somebody where to go. Now, we've looked at a few different ways so far, and let's look at now the future. The present simple for the future. Number 6. In this case, we're going to use the present simple with some conjunctions, joining words. The conjunctions that we use with the present simple are after, when, before, as soon as, until, words like this. For example, when I go to school, I will study some more. When and go. Go is the main verb with when, and this is the present simple verb. But we're talking about the future. When I go to school. Not now, but in the future. Another example, as soon as he calls, we will let you know. As soon as and calls. Calls is the verb in the present simple form, but we're talking about not now, but later, in the future. As soon as he calls, we will let you know. Okay? The second part of the sentence is different, but with the conjunction, we put the present simple form of the verb, and we're talking about the future. Another way, number 7 and the last way today, is to also talk about the future. We're expressing time for like a schedule or a timetable. And we use particularly with some verbs. Be, open, close, start, end, finish, arrive, come, leave, return. Verbs like this. So, for example, the train arrives in London at 7 p.m. tonight. Arrive is the verb. The train arrives, but we're not talking about right now. We're talking about later, at 7 p.m. tonight, in the future. So we use the present simple form of the verb. I start my new job next week. Tomorrow is my first day at school. David finishes his course at the end of the year. Okay, so to recap, we can use the present simple to talk about now, the past, and the future. Sometimes we're talking about just now. Sometimes we're talking about just the future. And sometimes it's a little bit complicated, but if you work on it, you will improve and practice, practice, practice. Okay, thanks for joining me today. See you next time. Bye.